The opinions expressed by Stuart Vener are not necessarily the views of this station and should be regarded as rantings of a very sick, perverted mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. We have a guest that I've really been looking forward to speaking to. We talked a couple weeks ago and we had a brief interview, but I've done a lot of research and got a lot to talk about. Sean Worthington. Sean, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Stuart.
My pleasure. Sean, you are the inventor of CloudCoin and the raida system of cryptocurrency, I suppose. Is that correct?
Yes, we call it a cloud currency.
Okay.
But it is, yes, I'm the inventor.
So you've actually taken the cryptocurrency to the next generation, to the next level.
That's right. We've got what we call a second mover technology, and with the blockchain being the first to solve the physical integrity problem of digital money. But we've come and we've been able to look at all of the mistakes that they made with the blockchain.
Sure.
And we've got a new technology raida that solves them all.
It appears like this is the future, whether it be cloud or crypto or digital, but it looks like we're getting away from the central government-controlled currencies, aren't we?
Yeah, it's really quite phenomenal because just 7 years ago, people really didn't know if it was possible to have a private monetary system. The only thing that we had to look for was gold and silver. But with this digital money, it's quite revolutionary, and we can conceivably see that we could get away from national currencies within the next 20 years.
And you know, even in a national currency, that's all becoming digital. I mean, I go into a 7-Eleven and people are using their card to buy a cup of coffee.
Yes, but actually, when they use their cards, it's all referring to some paper money. So there's supposed to be vaults full of paper money somewhere that is being referenced. So they actually haven't created a digital currency that's got the kind of physical integrity which would allow to have an accounting system which prevents counterfeits and prevents massive losses.
You know, I see all of these cryptocurrencies, or digital currencies, whatever you want to call it, popping up all over the world. And people are making a lot of money, some losing, I guess, but with the bitcoins and some of these other currencies, they're making fortunes, but they're really just in trading in a, from what I see, in a commodity that you can't really use and spend.
Well, certainly when Bitcoin started, it was used just for spending and just for trading.
Yes.
Back then there wasn't very many people that used it, so it was fairly fast. You could do a trade within 5 minutes. But as the popularity has grown, people started using it for major transactions. For example, companies might buy $1 million worth of oil from Venezuela. And by using Bitcoin, they could get around the Venezuelan tariffs on the dollars. They could go straight to the source and buy the oil. But now we've seen that people make money on it because the value of it goes up, and that has caused a big, I would call it a loop, but it's actually a bubble.
Yes.
Where people get sucked into seeing other people making money. They want to make money too. They start investing. And we get this incredible bubble, which I think just burst with Bitcoin.
I think so. I mean, it looks to me like the housing market 10 years ago.
That's right.
And at some point the bubble has to burst, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. So digital currency has a fundamental value, and there was a big community that was using it before the investors started coming in. Now we see the majority of people that are involved with this are investors. They're trying to get rich.
Yes.
But digital currency has a lot of value besides investments. And in fact, you can buy things all over the world day and night without bank fees, without tariffs, without regulations. So there's a lot of value that can be had from digital currencies without the investment aspect.
Do you think at some point this will actually destroy governments?
I think it's very possible that it will limit what they can do. And so we've seen that people that use digital currencies like Bitcoin tend not to pay taxes. And so if everybody was to switch to a digital currency and they could trade privately without the government knowing, then the governments would be forced to cut back. Otherwise, their currencies would go completely worthless, just like what is happening in Venezuela right now.
And will societies continue? I mean, how will they without armies, without the money they need?
Absolutely. The government certainly has been small in the past, in America at least, and I think that we can certainly have a very good society without it being dominated by government. In fact, government might be a big problem. And so is the relationship between the Federal Reserve and the government. I believe that many of the problems that we've had, including the Great Depression in the 30s and the 20s, was caused by the Federal Reserve and it printing up money and destroying money in a way that is detrimental to the economy.
I agree with you. I mean, right now, every time we need money, we just print more.
That's right. So we've created, basically our system is where the banks and the government have created a monopoly together. The government allows the banks to print up the money every time that they want to make a loan.
Right.
And the banks allow the government to borrow money anytime they want to borrow money for a government program. This is not a good match. It would be better if we could separate the money from the governments and the banks.
The only ones that'll prosper are the super, super rich.
Yeah, we've seen this a lot throughout history where when we introduce new money into the system, the asset holders become richer and the wage earners become poorer because they can't afford the inflation that happens when the prices go up.
And that's what's happening today.
Yep.
Everywhere. Now, of all the digital currencies, and yours is not a digital currency, but yours, as I say, you say too that it's the next generation. How does it work exactly? How protected and how safe is it?
Well, it's got to be perfectly safe, otherwise it's no good.
Right.
And we believe ours is nuclear proof that governments and hackers and everybody around the world could attack it and it would still be there for people. And what we've done is we've created a system that is very similar to the DNS system. The DNS system is a system that we use every day when we want to use the internet to resolve a name like www.google.com to an IP address. And since it was created back in 1985, it's never gone down. It uses a redundant array of servers. And we've in fact created a redundant array of independent detection agents. These are clouds that are all over the world. They're self-healing. They're run by different people. Mm-hmm. And they, in theory, can be taken down, taken offline, and then we can repair them.
Very interesting. And I know today they've even made it more secure, all the whole internet, with this new technology and the new protocol that's required for processing credit cards and doing secure transactions, isn't it?
Well, I think that with the banking system, we're still having huge problems with counterfeiting and what's called identity theft. And this is where somebody pretends that they're you and they get into your money or get credit that belongs to you. It's a huge problem. It's growing worse. And it's also becoming less and less expensive for counterfeiters to counterfeit the U.S. dollar. So I think that there's a lot of pressure on the current system. And I think digital money solve these problems quickly and efficiently. And they really will be the future because the other currencies, they're not going to be able to keep the integrity that they need to do their job.
Very interesting. It has PayPal become a kind of quasi-digital currency? I know what is it exactly?
Yes, PayPal is a monetary system. So Bitcoin is a public ledger where everybody can see who's got what. PayPal is a private ledger. So they move money from person to person. Only it's controlled by a company that can just seize money at any time and close down accounts, monitor things. But PayPal is the monetary system.
But they have a lot of control. I've been fortunate. I've never had them close my account or seize my money, but I hear horror stories that happens all the time.
It certainly has happened to me and everybody that I am friends with because PayPal hates digital currency. And if they find out that you use PayPal to buy or sell digital currency, or to trade in digital currency, they will shut your account down immediately.
I've never tried to use it for that. That's very interesting, too. How can you buy digital currency? I have had a difficult time in buying it, and I've been uncomfortable with some of the ways that you have to go to third parties that you really don't know who they are, and then you have to buy a Bitcoin and trade it for something else, and it's made me very uncomfortable, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's, with Bitcoin, it takes quite a lot of time because you've got to download the blockchain.
Right.
It's 150 gigabytes. It's huge. And that can take 3 or 4 days, and then usually you've got to set up an account with an exchange, and these exchanges are highly regulated by the government. It might take a couple weeks to be able to open an account. You have to submit all these documents. And that basically allows the government to come in and know who you are and know what you're trading. So that's going to make anybody feel uncomfortable. So with
Yes.
CloudCoin, you can pretty much buy it with anything. You can buy it with credit card or
Really?
PayPal. Yeah.
Now, if I want to buy CloudCoin, how can I do that?
Well, the best way to do it is to Google buy CloudCoin. You'll find lots of different people that sell it and websites that sell it. You can also go to cloudcoin.exchange. That is an exchange. Create an account. It was just opened this week, so it's still in beta. But there you can meet up with people that want to sell and get an idea of what a good price is.
Interesting.
So it's not terribly difficult.
So I can actually use a credit card or a PayPal or some way, or even a bank transfer, and I can actually go on to this and buy cloud coins.
Sure. So there's a whole bunch of different people, and they all take different payments. And pretty much you can pay in anything that you can imagine. So you could pay in Apple Pay or Google Pay or
Okay.
Western Union, Bankwire, check by mail. So there's lots of different options.
That's the same way you buy Viagra from the Indians.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And what is the cost of a cloud coin today? What would I pay for it?
It is now running about 10 cents per cloud coin.
So this is like Bitcoins in their infancy in value.
That's right.
Wow.
I think that it's going to go up in value as people find it more useful, and we're just creating the CloudCoin software development kit so that everybody can accept CloudCoin in their software. I think that once that
Incredible.
happens, we're going to be some big changes because CloudCoin is the first currency that can be imported into software like video games or accounting systems. Or anything.
Really? Well, I think I'm going to go buy some as soon as we get off this interview. You know, there's an old guy that I do some business with on some real estate transactions, and he told me that, I don't know how many years ago, he had $1,000 worth of Bitcoins at a penny or less.
Mm-hmm.
And he sold them. But I said, my God, if had you kept that, you could have traded your wife in for a young Slovenian model and bought a gold fixtures for his toilet.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, if you can afford some risk, it's a risky market, no doubt about it. But it could be something that really explodes. I think it will explode. But, of course, nobody knows.
But yours is the most secure and safe and counterfeit proof of any of them, for what I can see.
That's right. In fact, we are actually working with a company called a raida bank.
Oh, I'm familiar with
We're trying
them.
to develop a way that they can store their keys, so their crypto keys, so that they cannot be stolen. So we're trying to work on the world's first unstealable money.
And from what I understand, with the Rise Bank, you can actually use it to go to the grocery store and buy things.
Yeah, I know that they're trying to get a whole system of ATMs and everything, yes.
That's the missing link, I think, in all of this.
Absolutely. It's got to be usable,
Yes.
and CloudCoin is going to be a big part of making that happen because we can transact so quickly. It's so inexpensive to integrate our coin into software that you don't have to hire these expensive people with PhDs in cryptography to make it work.
And you keep this on your own, your phone or your Android or your computer, and it's yours, but nobody knows who it belongs to?
That's right. So nobody knows how much money you have or how many cloud coins you have.
Wow. And no one can steal it?
Well, unfortunately, with CloudCoin, if somebody steals your cell phone, they could steal it.
Okay.
And so we have to have it encrypted. We have to protect it with a password. But if your cell phone hard drive is encrypted and it's protected by a strong password, then no, it cannot be stolen.
Yeah, that's just something I recommend everyone does. And, you know, it's not a hard thing to do. I have a little program that just generates crazy passwords. There's no way anyone could ever find it or steal it. And it's a simple little thing to do for anything important.
Password is certainly important, but people can take the hard drive out of your cell phone and then look at it directly, go around the password. So you actually have to encrypt the hard drive too.
I see. Well, that's pretty important. And when do you think the time will actually come that we can buy things with these currencies, cloud coins?
Well, I think it's going to be, there's a huge demand for it, and so I think it's going to be very quickly. And I would expect within the next year we'll have some major announcements to make about
I think you're right.
People being able to use CloudCoin to purchase things.
I read something I heard something on the news the other day that Israel now is talking about a digital shekel.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with that?
Yes, I am.
And what will that be based on? What technology?
Well, I think that they're looking at the public ledger system,
Okay.
which is actually not a good system that you want your government to use, because they can assign you basically an account on that public ledger, and then if they know your account, they can track everything that you buy and sell. So it's going to take away all your privacy. They could automatically tax you. You could automatically redistribute your wealth. There could be people that are automatically getting your money. And so that system could create what I would call blockchain socialism. And socialism tends to make everybody not want to work. And
That is true.
Less productive, so it would be a bad thing, I think.
That's been proven in history.
Yep.
And the cloud coin is, how would you keep track of it? Do you have a ledger? Is it a spreadsheet? Is it like a checkbook ledger? How do you keep track of what you have?
So with the cloud coin, there is no tracking.
Okay.
You just need to, basically every cloud coin has 25 passports, if you want to call them that.
Okay.
And we have these clouds all over the world in different countries run by different people. And I give you my cloud coin. The cloud coin can be checked to see if it's authentic with all these different clouds within a millisecond, because of the speed of light. We can do them all in parallel. And it only takes a few milliseconds to do. And then if you know the passwords, you can change all the passwords. So with CloudCoin, whoever knows all of the passwords is the owner.
I see. So you can keep it safe and you can change them, and I probably think it'd be a good idea to change them regularly, don't you?
Well, you only need to change them once every time you take ownership of them.
Okay.
Because the passwords are unguessable, unhackable. They're really strong passwords.
So you're buying a cloud coin from someone else, then you should change your password so it becomes safely yours.
That's right. We have
Okay.
some special software that we call banking software. It basically imports the coin, and during the import process, it changes all the passwords, and it puts it in a bank folder so you know that that's where your money, your good money is.
So you access your folder, in your banking folder, so you know what you have all the time, like a bank statement.
That's right. The banking software counts all the money that's in there, and it lets you know how much money you have.
Fascinating. Well, Sean, I think that, I strongly believe that digital currency is the future. And I think a lot of these that are out there are going to fall, but I think yours is probably going to be the biggest one out there. I mean, you could take over all of it.
Yeah, there's only a few technologies that actually solve the physical integrity problem. There is the blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
There's like about 1,000 currencies, if not more, that are based on that. They can just take the Bitcoin code, which is open source, just copy and paste it and make their own currency from that. But another technology is something called the hash graph,
Right.
and that is a better technology, but it's still public ledger. It still has a lot of problems with it. I think that CloudCoin solves all the problems. It's the only one out there that uses this technology because we have a patent on it, and I think it's going to dominate.
Fascinating. Well, I'm going to buy some, 'cause I think that it's certainly worth the opportunity, and I think the risk is small compared to what the reward could be. That's for
And you
sure.
can get them free, actually. There's a company called Digital Marketing, Digital Frontier Market.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, it's digitalfrontiernews.com, and they are giving away 5 free cloud coins and a copy of my book if you sign up for their newsletter. Digitalfrontiernews.com. You could actually get some for free and try it out.
I'm going to do it. And what is the circulation? How many cloud coins are in circulation?
So right now there's about 300 million.
Wow. Fascinating.
And with CloudCoin, there's a fixed amount. So the amount does not grow, except we have to spend them into existence. So we have a bunch of CloudCoins in Mint, and then people, system administrators, programmers, they get paid from them, and they can then turn around and sell them. So
So it refreshes.
Grow. What's that?
The inventory refreshes itself.
Yes, but so we'll see a maximum amount, and then it'll be fixed, and it'll never go up or down.
Very interesting. Folks, we're talking to Sean Worthington, the inventor, the developer of CloudCoin and the raida system, which is miles ahead of everything else. It's generations ahead. And I'm going to buy it. I think it's fantastic. Sean, I want to thank you so much, and I